With this video, we're going to copy versions of SharePoint list items and documents with SP Navigator, and this is a Macintosh app. This is not something that's easy to do using out-of-the-box SharePoint. It's possible to do with scripts, but this interface really makes things easier. Here we have SharePoint Navigator, SP Navigator, and on this side we have the Finder window with two documents, and it's got a bunch of documents. These are all test documents. Let's expand this, and I have one of the columns that say versions. And we're in a document library. We can look at different document libraries if we wish. And, we have versions. And this item here has 19 versions. So if we right-click on it, we'll see that it says display versions. We can do other things to this file as well. But let's display the versions. Obviously, version 19 doesn't mean that there are 19 versions. It's just this particular version. A bunch of versions have been deleted. But here are the versions of this particular file. And if I wanted to delete version 4, I can right-click on it, and I can say permanently delete this version. Yes, I like to delete it. And now it doesn't exist. And if I collapse this, it goes back to just being a file. So we can just display versions again. You can see version 4 is gone, and I obviously did that with version 7 through 18. If I wanted to copy this, I could copy version 5 into Finder, and here it is. And if I wanted to copy any other version, I could do that as well. Here's version 3, and here we have it. The date modified, well, notice that it's changed it to the date that that file was last modified. Let's delete these files. Go back to SP Navigator. And let's say I wanted to copy this file and all of its versions to another library like DemoDocs. Let's collapse this. We don't have it in the root here, but we do have it in the root here. So let's copy this file to another document library. And if we go to DemoDocs and look at it, here it is. If we look at the versions, it'll say that it doesn't have any versions. But let's say we wanted to copy all the versions. Let's delete this file. And let's go to the preferences. And we can see here there's copy up to 0 versions for this file or items. And normally you want to keep this on 0 because you don't want to copy all of your versions. But let's say we do. And I'm going to put this to 10. That's all you have to do. So now let's do this again. Let's go to Documents. And I want to copy Tech Issues. I'm going to put that there. See that it's preparing to copy, and we can see it's copying version 1, 2, 3, 5, because I deleted 4, remember, 6. And the last version is there. Go here, and now we can see the tech issues, display versions, and there we have all of the versions. In this way here, we will copy up to 10. So if I change this to 3 and do that again, do this again, let's copy it. It's going to copy 3 of the versions. Starts with version 5, 6, and then the last one, and it sets the properties on the versions as it goes. So all the properties will be maintained. So go to DemoDocs, look at this, display versions, and there should only be 3 versions. Notice the version numbers are different, so this is not maintaining the version numbers specifically. Maybe that'll be a future option. All right, so let's do the same thing with list items. Here we have a list called Another List. And we have this item called Right Guard. Let's change the name of this item to Our Test. Notice the version number updated. It had version 4, now it's version 5. It has Aloha Shirt 2 as its attachment. That's one attachment. Let's copy this to some test list. So here it's preparing the copy. Okay, so let's go to some test list. Here's our test. We display the versions. And there's our versions. We have 5 versions of this item. So you can see that there's different accounts that have edited this file, and it retains all that information. Same thing with the modified date. And that's as simple as it is for copying versions from one list to another. But let's really mess this up. What happens if we try to copy our test to a document library? This is craziness. We're going to copy it to this document library. What do you think is going to happen here? Well, so it created our folder, and it created Aloha Shirt 2. And what it did was apply the properties of Aloha Shirt 2. And if we look at the versions of Aloha Shirt 2, it's got 5 versions. What is it really doing? Well, the thing here is it set the properties. See, here's the names of the people. It set the properties of what was an attachment. Attachments don't have versions, but the original list item did. So those list item properties from that attachment followed through. So in that way, you get to keep the metadata of your files when you move from a list to a document library or from document library to a list, because we could do the same thing going the other direction. So that's the end of the demo for copying versions in SP Navigator. I hope it serves your needs. If you have any questions or if you have a suggestion for what you would like to see in the application, leave comments below.